Hypnosis script, whatever you plug in that I'm going to show you that I use, and you can plug your own stuff in, almost anything will work. Later on I'll show you why. But I just want to backtrack a little bit from the phone script for just a moment, because I'll forget otherwise. When it comes to websites, even if you don't have a business, who here has a business name? Do we have a business name? Ah, except for one person, okay, great. So, beautiful to have a business name. It's great to have your website be that business name as well, but what's really great is if you can get the URL of the city you're in. For example, when I lived in Ottawa, my company is called Hypnosis, because it's Luke and Gnosis, and I've got a huge ego and I need to put my name in everything I do, so it's Hypnosis. But I also brought up Ottawa Hypnosis, because if somebody was looking for hypnosis in Ottawa, they didn't know who I was, but they'd put hypnosis into the Ottawa Google or Ottawa Hypnosis. Toronto, I'm in now, Toronto Hypnosis. If you can buy your city, and if your city has a city within a city that's more niche where you are, if you can buy that name, even better. That does not have to be the name of your company, but that's just one of the URLs that will get redirected back to your website. And URLs is just the name of your website, the www. whatever your name is, .com. So it can be the name of your company, but at one time I had Toronto Hypnosis, Ontario Hypnosis, I think, Ottawa Hypnosis, Ottawa Hypnotherapy, and they all pointed back to my website, Hypnosis. So when you have that name, that helps you. So if you can get the name, your city name and hypnosis, and it's better to get hypnosis than hypnotherapy. If you can get them both, it's great. But because most people look for stop smoking hypnotist rather than stop smoking hypnotherapy. Hypnosis or hypnotist gets searched more than hypnotherapy. So always go for hypnosis and hypnotist, and if you get hypnotherapy as well, better. But most people search for hypnotist or hypnosis.
You know when you buy a website, you get offered all these other
.co.ca, .z.org. Go for .com. Go for .com, and it's better if you can invest some money. Invest money in the Hypnosis, Toronto Hypnosis, Ottawa Hypnosis, because these are the areas that I work in, as opposed to going for the .ca, the .co.uk, the .org, .com. It's still .com. Most people are putting .coms in, and you know, ideally go for .com. They're more respected. People remember it better. Make sense? And if you want to buy additional names, URLs for your website, the best site to go to is GoDaddy, GoDaddy.com. You can buy a URL, a name for your website. It's about $10 a year, depending on how popular the name is. And if it's free, that no one else has got it, you can put that name in. Toronto Hypnosis, and GoDaddy will say, oh, someone's already got it, so you can't buy it, or say it's free, and you can buy it and register it for like $10, $20 a year. You've got the extra name as well. Any people here, Yelpers, you know, doing reviews on Yelp? Does anyone use Yelp? When you go to a restaurant, you review a restaurant or a concert that you won't go to, or a magic show. That's what Chris Angel was talking about yesterday, to go on Yelp and review a show, 5 stars. And when you review me later on today, remember Dave Meltzer gives me 5 stars. Give you 5 stars. But Yelp's really great, so is Google Places. Google Places is a little bit better. What Google Places is when you go into Google and you put in, I don't know, Ottawa, Toronto Hypnosis, Google Places is the screen on the right where, usually on the right, or sometimes it's right at the top. And what it is it's not the organic search on Google, it's Google businesses will come up. And depending on reviews that you've got on your business that went straight to Google, you get higher and higher up on the search rankings. So organically, you might not even be on the first page. But if your business, you're getting lots of reviews, people are getting lots of different people who are reputable, not spammers, that you can hire on Fiverr to give you a spam review, because that will get you penalised. But if your client's really happy, you know, you say to them, you know what, that's amazing that you had great success, I didn't doubt that you would. Would you mind writing that on Google Places for me? Here's a URL, because it will just tell people like you that hypnosis is so powerful and how it affected your life and how it can affect other people. So it's great to have a video on your website of testimonials or a review on your website. But on Google Places or Yelp, these are respected places on the web. And people respect those a lot more because they're coming from a third party, and it's a lot harder to manipulate those, so a lot more respected. So whenever you have an amazing story of your clients, I always follow up with my clients, and in the follow-up, I'm making sure they had a great experience first of all, and when they give me the great experience, I'm like, oh, that's amazing, I'm so happy to hear that. I didn't doubt it would happen. Would you mind actually spreading the word and go into my Google Plus account, here's the URL, and just write in that, even if you cut and paste, on my Google Places, because it just helps spread the word. And because you heard about me through somebody else, through a referral, through a magazine, through a review, and I want more people to hear about me. So get your clients to give you the Google Places, and you can set up a Google business account. If you go onto Google Businesses, you send away, and they send you within 2 weeks this little card with like a code, and when you get the code, you plug it into your Google Businesses account, and it becomes activated, it becomes live. And straight away that will give you more juice on your website, so more people will find you. So get a Google Business account, and it's free.
There's one more layer of that, which is great, but you just put in, I have an appointment to get this done next week, is there's people now that will come in and do, they'll film a Google 360 view of your office.
Oh.
And when you get that done, Google really wants to promote this, so they're bumping those people up really high in the search engines.
Is that free?
No, well, the guy's charging me $200 to come in
Okay.
and record the whole thing.
Interesting,
And,
okay.
and he'll upload it for me.
Yeah.
And do you know when you go on like Google Street View, how you can turn it around the corner? Well, this will be inside your office.
Wow.
So they can actually do the 360
That's
view.
great.
But the
Yeah.
point is, Google wants to promote this right now. So if you get that done,
Yeah.
you've got a ticket to the top.
Yeah.
And how do those people?
What's that called?
How do you find that kind of person?
What this guy told me is you've got to work through a certified Google Trusted Advisor. So if you just Google, I think if you Googled Google 360 office views, my hunch is you'll find somebody in your area.
I'm going to play this video back later on and go over that might have been gold when we got this, didn't know about it. And the other one is obviously Yelp as well. Yelp is not just for restaurants or for shows, it's for businesses. There's people who, they're just Yelpers, and they just review. Anytime they go to a restaurant, they go to a sports game, they review the establishment they went and give it 0 stars or up to 5 stars. And it's a way, again, that Yelp is really respected on Google. So even if your website doesn't chart very well on the organic, the normal Google search, if you've got a good Yelp, like for a while, I wasn't showing up on the first page for Toronto Hypnosis, but my Yelp was. So people would go and see my 5 stars on Yelp, even though my real website wasn't on until page 2, but they'd click on that, it's almost as good as having your page on the first website, and it just boosts it up. But I find that Google Places is more important than Yelp. But definitely get that set up, and that will save you time, that will save you money when you do that on hiring a professional to do it. It's all pretty quick, and it's all pretty easy. Any questions about any of the marketing stuff so far? Because we're going to go back to the sales call. Good, all right. So, we've got to the bit where we've done the fork in the road. We've got some pain. We've found out how they know about us if they've gone to the website and watched some videos, or if they've just skimmed the video on their phone for 30 seconds. So we'll see which level they are. And I'll say something along the lines of, I'll just tell you a little bit about me and how I work. And they're like, great. I've been doing this 20 years now, and I have a 100% success rate in helping people quit smoking. 100. Then I talk to the voice that's in their head. The voice is 100%. How can you dare say 100%? Nothing's 100%. And I'm like, the only reason I can make such a bold claim is I follow up for all my clients for up to 2 years after I work. And of all the people that respond to my follow-up, because not everyone responds to my follow-up for whatever reason, of all the people that respond to my follow-up, I have a 100% satisfied rating. See the wording there? I'm not lying at all. I'm saying satisfied. And I'll tell you, I'll just go off on a tiny little tangent here about being satisfied versus getting a result. I had a client who came into my office, and I put the email up, and I took his name out of it, and his email account. I put it on my Facebook, and it was the greatest testimonial I ever got. I followed up generically 2 weeks after our session, how you doing, what changes have you noticed? He came in because he was smoking an e-cigarette. He quit smoking real cigarettes 2 years prior. And he goes, oh yeah, everything's going okay, it's really nice to meet you. Don't think the hypnosis really worked for me though, didn't feel hypnotized. I'm not smoking e-cigarette anymore, but I told my wife I just didn't want to waste the $500 I spent on you because I'm a cheap bastard. So I'm not smoking e-cigarette anymore, but I don't feel the hypnosis helped me at all, and thanks very much. And I'm like, does the guy not get the irony of the email? I do not tell my clients this story from now on. I don't care if you give me credit for the change or not. The result is, he's not smoking anymore. But then it made me think. He got the result that he wanted, but he was not satisfied. I've had clients in the past that came in and I've done up to 4 sessions and they didn't quit smoking for whatever reason. But we dealt with a whole bunch of other shit, technical word that came up. They didn't quit smoking, but they were satisfied, and I got loads of referrals. So sometimes it's not just about the result. You can get the result, and the guy's like, yeah, but I didn't feel hypnotized. I'm just not smoking now because I spent $500 on you. Versus the person who had 4 sessions with me, is still smoking, a bit less, but we've dealt with their anger, shame, guilt, and sadness, and they are satisfied. So there's a difference between the result and being satisfied. That's why I use the term satisfied in 100% satisfaction rate with my clients. And I'll tell you why that my success is so high, if I can be quite honest with you, is I don't take on everyone I speak to. Respectfully, about 50%, this is true, of the people I speak to daily, I have to respectfully decline. Mel can tell you. There's times where, I want to make money as much as the next person, but there's about 50% of the time where I'm just like, I'm not working with this person. And it ain't because I'm rich, it's just like integrity, and I know this person's going to be a gigantic pain in the arse, that I'm like, I'm just not going to do it. So about 50% of the people I have to respectfully decline, just because I don't feel they're in the right place to change. Because I'm looking for a very specific client to work with. I'm looking for people that are really good people, and quite frankly, they're just sick and tired of being sick and tired. They may have tried many other things to quit smoking in the past, but nothing has worked to this point. It's almost been like they've been walking in a tunnel, it's dark, there's a little bit of light at the end. They still have hope that they'll get out of that tunnel and there's light, but they've just felt stuck, annoyed, frustrated, saddened for so long, and they just need a bit of a mentorship, a bit of fellowship to get them out of it, to become a non-smoker. Does that sound like you? 9 times out of 10, that sounds exactly like me. I've read their mind, because all the smokers I deal with are pretty much the same. I'm like, yeah, I know my smokers. So I've already kind of almost done like a little soft sell, if you will, at that point. I've mind read what's going on in their mind, because most smokers are going through the same shit. They feel that I know them, that I know their situation. I do, because I've worked with 5,000 of smokers in the past. They've agreed to it. Then I'll reverse the frame, because I'm not selling at any point. So I'm very selective with the clients that I work with, because I want to maintain my targets, my stats really high. Why would you be a good client for me? If I led with that as a beginning question, I'd come across as an arrogant bastard, and they would have no buy-in. Now we're 15, 20 minutes into the call, we've got all this ammunition, I found out about them, now I've reversed the frame. So why would you be a good client for me? Because I don't take on everyone. Then I go quiet, and now I want them to fight, I want them to work. And if I have to prompt them, you've got a minute, tell me. Because I'm not, if I'm not getting enough in them, John, please tell me if I'm wrong. John, I want to be wrong about this, please tell me if I'm wrong. But I'm just getting a gut feeling that you don't really want this. I'm looking for them to push back at that point and be like, what are you talking about? Of course I want. If at that point they don't push back and they're like, yeah, you know what, I'm not really into it. Good, the call's over. But I want them to push back and I want them to fight for the change. Because they're going to have to fight when they come in. Because this is, they're jumping through multiple hoops. So they'll give me the minute, they're like, well, yeah, I do need to change because X, Y, Z. I'm like, well, I'm actually really happy you said that because I wasn't sure, to be honest, but you're convincing me. You're convincing me that maybe you'd be a good client and maybe I should take you on. I'll reverse the frame. I'm not trying to sell it at any point. Then I'll go into this bit. I'll say, John, hypnosis works really well for some people, but for other people, it doesn't work so well for. Now, the type of people it works well for, and the only people I work with nowadays, are the people that come into my office and have made a real commitment to making changes with themselves. Now, it might sound a bit of a strange thing, but many people think that they want to change, but when they truly look at what needs to change, they're a bit reluctant to do it. But for the type of person who's willing to come in, be honest with me, but far more importantly, be honest with themselves, it works really, really well for them. I'm inoculating against bad clients, by the way. The second quality I look for in clients that are really successful with me, that have great success, are clients that understand that hypnosis is a collaboration. Meaning you and I are working on the same team to help you overcome your problem. For clients who are intelligent to know that, hypnosis works great for. But the type of people that hypnosis doesn't tend to work so well for, and thankfully the type of people I don't work with nowadays, I told them the client I want, I'm going to tell them the client I don't want. And the type of clients, you won't believe this, John, they used to come into my office with this kind of attitude. All right, Luke, take out your magic wand, do some hocus pocus and take away all my problems while I just recline on your recliner, placidly think about what I'm going to have for dinner tonight, why I make you, the hypnotist, complete responsibility for my life, why I keep victimizing myself. For those type of people, unfortunately, hypnosis doesn't tend to work so well for. And quite frankly, nothing seems to work so well for that type of people. I've inoculated myself against those annoying clients from the past, and I had a lot of them. I'll be like, so if you're willing to come in and do some real quality work, then we can do some real quality work together. Is that fair? They always say yes. They always laugh at the story as well. The story is true. I used to get clients like that. But I've basically told them, if you're going to come and see me, you've got to be like A, B. If you're like C, it ain't going to work. I'm not going to see it. So I'm making them be on their best behaviour, if you will. And I'm screening out. I truly am screening people out. Because if you're going to be a nightmare, I do not want to work with you. I don't need the headache. I don't need the money that much. So they'll be like, oh yeah, great, everything will grow great. I'll be like, I do a combination of eyes open and eyes closed hypnosis. And typically, I'll work with smoking clients anywhere from as little as 1 session all the way up to 4 sessions to become a non-smoker. And I'll be like, oh, that's cool. And I'll do a very little quick bit sometimes about the conscious mind and unconscious mind. I'll say, because there's 2 parts of your mind. There's a conscious, there's an unconscious. Some people call it subconscious, some people call it non-conscious. I call it unconscious. Your conscious mind is the part of your mind that's responsible for your willpower, for you analysing things, for you being logical. But if you could logic this problem away, we wouldn't be speaking right now, would we? You're like, oh, well, of course, no, because if I could think about it away, if I could think all the reasons why I shouldn't smoke, it wouldn't be here. It's because all of your emotions, all of your habits, all of your addictions, if you will, are all in your unconscious mind. And in a relaxed state known as hypnosis, we communicate directly with your unconscious mind. This is why it's pretty quick, pretty easy to make lifetime changes with hypnosis. So in about a minute, I've described very, very crudely conscious mind, unconscious mind in a way that they can understand. They can identify, yeah, well, I've tried using willpower, saying I don't want to smoke, all the bad things, but it hasn't worked. I've tried that route, it hasn't worked. So I need to try something else. I need to do something else in order to make this work. And then I'll do this bit, I'll say, actually, before I go on to the next bit, John, I should probably ask you, it would only be polite, do you want my help? Soft close, do you want my help? I don't think I've ever said a no at that point. They're like, yeah, fantastic. So John, I find that smokers fall into 1 of 2 categories. This is not 100% true 100% of the time. It just appears to be this way, more times than not. I find smokers fall into 1 or 2 categories. Category number 1 is they started smoking in their teenage years. And they only started smoking because their friends, their peers were smoking. There's no deep, dark or heavy reason they started. It's just they wanted to be cool and fit in with the people at school, fit in with their friends, their peer group. And I'd say that accounts for about 70 to 75% of the smokers I see fall into that category. Category number 2 is the smokers started smoking a little bit earlier than the teen years or a little bit later than their teen years. And there was something else going on in the periphery, in the background. Maybe parents got divorced, maybe a breakup of a relationship, maybe you moved to school, maybe there was an injury, maybe an accident. But there was something else going on in the background around that same time that you were smoking. And for those people, that came to account for about 20 or 25% of people. It may take up to 4 sessions to help them overcome it. Which category do you think you're in, John? I'm letting him make the decision. I'm not saying you're in this category. I'm letting him make the choice. And he'll be like, oh, actually, you know what? Yeah, it's actually when I was 16, my brother and his friends used to smoke, and I just thought it was a cool thing, and that's it. Oh, great. So I think the category number 1 sounds like you. Bang. It's like, well, actually, you know what? I started smoking when I was 20. My relationship broke up. My dad died of a car accident, whatever. perhaps they might need to do a little bit more work because there's a little bit more trauma going on in the background. That lets me see the split in the road if it's going to be a one session, and I only used to do one session, and it would work most of the time. But then when I only used to do one session, it was the way that I was taught, for some people it wouldn't work. And because I said it was one session, one bullet, one kill, so to speak, they never felt they could call me again to come back and see me because they thought, well, it's just one session. It either works or it doesn't work. So on some level, it's giving them a disservice, and it's putting so much pressure on them to change in that session and on me to do the work. It was exhausting. So now, most of the time it is done in one session, but there's wiggle room that there's more if they need it. So I say, great, well, whatever package, whichever category you fall into, John, I've got two programs for you. I've got a silver program, I've got a gold program. I'll tell you a little bit about both. The gold program is for that 25 or 30% of people that fall into category number 2. They started smoking a bit earlier or a bit later than their teen years. There was something else going on in the periphery, a trauma of some kind, big or small. It takes up to 4 sessions to work with those people because we've got to work through all of the debris that's there before you get to smoking. That's up to 4 sessions with me, up to 4 sessions one-on-one with me, and a digital aftercare package, which is a bunch of short videos that I've made for you, and audios and stuff to listen to reinforce all the good work we've done. They're already pre-recorded, everyone gets that email, it just ups the value of what I do. And I'll say the investment for those 4 sessions is $897, all inclusive. I do the 97 because it used to be the 99 or the 95, but now it's 97. The 7, the number ended in the 7. It makes people feel more comfortable when it's a 7. If it's $900 versus $897, they're a lot more comfortable saving that $3, more than the $3 would seem. And I'll say, but if you're in category number 1, I offer a silver program. It's 1 session, you get all the digital aftercare package as well, but it's just 1 session with me, and it's applicable, successful for about 70 to 75% of the people I see. The investment for that is $597. Which one do you feel you need? Because I'm feeling, right? You should be feeling. I'll take a step back. Just before I go into the program, the price, I would have asked them one question before that. That's when I come back in with, oh, even if I asked it earlier on, John, remind me, how many packs of cigarettes are you smoking a month? John says, 30. How much are your packs, John? Oh, they're $10 a piece, that's $300. Great, so I know already he's spending $300. So I've quickly computed on my calculator, that's $3,500 he's using, so now I'm making a note of that. So if he tries to say it's too expensive, I'm like, oh, hold on a minute, it's too expensive for you. Oh, is it really? But did you realise, John, you're actually spending $3,500 every year to kill yourself? Now you get an opportunity to spend $600 to save your life. So when you think about it that way, doesn't it make sense that we just book you in? Bring up that contrast just before the price, we bring up how much they're smoking. And if it's only half a pack they're smoking a day, then that means within 8 weeks then, you're in profit. If it's half a pack a day. If it's 1 pack a day, then within 5 or 6 weeks you're in profit. That means after 6 weeks from your last cigarette, you're making money. You're making an extra $3,500 a year. Isn't that amazing? What are you going to do with that money? Well, I'm on vacation, I'm going to buy a new car, whatever it is. But we've got that kind of contrast frame coming up. Any questions on any of that? There's still a bit more to it, but anything up to that point?
I want the 4 sessions because then it's only going to be $200 a session.
Yeah. So the good thing about that, yeah, the good thing about that is, so he's either going to spend $600 with me for 1 session, or I've given him an option to spend $900 over 4. It doesn't matter because I've upsold him. I've upsold him. He's either going to spend $600 or $900. I'm still getting $600 or $900. I'm still getting anywhere from the $600 for 1 hour, 1 time, or I'm getting $225 an hour for the 4 sessions. You've been upsold. But I haven't upsold, you've upsold yourself, but I've given you that wiggle room. And to be honest, they're probably done in the first session or 2. And in which case, I let them use the sessions any way they want after that. I'm like, well, great. So it's like, well, what if I do quit smoking after the first session? Can I get the money back for the free? No, that doesn't happen. But you know what, John? We can use those sessions to fix something else in your life, unless you're perfect. Oh, well, no, I want to work on my anxiety. Or can we do that? They feel grateful. Yeah, if we get rid of that in the first session, see that. Yeah, when we get rid of that in the first session, the quicker we get rid of that, the quicker we can deal with those other things in your life. So it ain't just about smoking anymore, it's about a whole bunch of stuff.
So presumably there are people who are in the 75% who just want to be cool.
Yeah.
Who go, well, I'm a bit anxious, or like to do some public speaking. Do many people?
Yeah, so basically, some people just be like, yeah, you know what, I'll just do that one session because I think that's the category I'm in. I'm like, I'm totally happy for you to do that. However, I want to have a deal on the table, John, and the deal is this. I want to work with you until that problem's gone. Understand there's a beginning and end to the work that we do. It's not like seeing a counsellor or a psychotherapist or a psychiatrist that can go on indefinitely. There's a start date, there's an end date, you know exactly what you're getting. If you're done in one session, and you most likely will be done in one session, our work's done, you feel happy, you tell people about me. If, however, you notice a drastic reduction in your smoking after the first session, but you still feel that you need a bit more assistance, a bit more help, then I still want to be here and give you the ability to upgrade, that we can do up to 3 more sessions, should you need it, and you probably won't until that problem's gone. Are you okay with that? And they always say, oh, you'll still be there for me, and totally. And I give them the parameter, this ain't forever, this is up to 4 sessions that it's going to be done, but I want them to know that I'm going to be there for them. But the perimeter for them to upgrade, should they need it, is there. Make sense? Cool. Any questions on any of that stuff so far?
Covered a lot of stuff in between the list.
Yeah.
Are we going to get a download from this video that you're recording of the session?
Ask me that at the end.
Okay.
Remind me to ask me that at the end.
Because those answers are very valuable.
Yes,
Yeah.
they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you
Questions are good,
what.
but
I'll tell you what.
answers
I was going to turn this into an information product that I was going to sell after. I'll tell you what. I'm going to make this video, and you're all going to get a copy for free. How about that after? Is that good? But I'm going to need to edit the hell out of this, so you ain't going to get it for a couple of weeks because I'm not going to send you all DVDs out. I'll put it up on YouTube, but I'm going to have to chop it because you can only put like hour segments at a time. So it might take a couple of weeks, but you will get it as long as your name is on that list, and you will get all the handouts and stuff like that. All right? But give me a couple of weeks to get it, and you'll get it for free. And I'm going to sell it to everyone after this.
You put a lot into 1 minute. You talk very fast. You have
Well,
great
yeah,
things. but
those
it's a lot.
answers are the most valuable thing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the answers that we need.
And for me, this is all about being in the trenches. I'm not telling you, I'm not pissing on you and telling you it's raining. I'm telling you how it really goes. I'm not telling you like it's all going to be rainbows and sunshine. Like, no, I've been in the trenches doing this, and if I find that question ain't like a good stand-up comic, if that joke ain't working here, if that question ain't working here on the list, I ask myself, what would happen if I asked that question here on the list? Or what would happen if I rephrased that question, or if I took it out completely? I'm always reworking it, because this is how you get paid. Because even if you're the shittiest hypnotist in the world, and you're not, I know you're not, and even if you are, that's going to change by the end of the day, that ain't what's getting you money. What's getting you money and having a business is this.
Wow.
See how we just saw something?
Yeah, you hypnosis something. Look at this.
We're good at this.
So if you don't sell them the gold package right away,
Yeah.
and you give them an opportunity to upgrade, I don't see why they wouldn't do one session and say, okay, now I'm going to upgrade because I want more. If they did one session and they said, well, I want another session, what would be your individual price? And that might want them to upgrade. In other words, if you do one session for $597,
Yeah.
and then you go, you know, I think I need some more help.
Yeah.
What's it going to cost me?
Yeah.
Are you going to price them?
I'm going to do the 4 sessions. Because basically smoking, for the most part, is one session with me. It's digital. It's either they're doing it or they're not doing it, right? It's easier to stop something than it is to control something. It's easier to become a non-smoker than it is to cut down from 25 cigarettes a day to 5 cigarettes a day. It's easier to either do it or not do it. It's really, really, you're either doing it or you're not doing it. It's like the hand stick. You know, you ever done the hand stick in hypnosis? It either works, they can't move their hand, or it doesn't work. They pull their hand up, but it's a pass-foul, right, straight away. Whereas opposed to something like anxiety, they might come in and they're feeling 10 out of 10 for anxiety, the 10 out of 10's there, and they come in next week, it's a 7, it's still bad, it's a 7, and now it's a 4, but it's more analogical as opposed to the digital. Yes, it worked. You're either a non-smoker, which means you ain't doing it anymore, or you are a smoker and you aren't doing it. It's that clear. And it can be, once they've made a decision in their head, they don't need hypnosis. Hypnosis makes it easier, But they don't need hypnosis. There's a lot of people out there that quit without any of the gimmicks and without hypnosis, and they do it very, very well. But hypnosis is an amazing tool to help them. Do they need it? No. They don't need me, they don't need you. They can do it by themselves. They just don't believe that they can do it by themselves, and they need some help, they need some assistance, and this is where we come in to help them. Yeah.
I just have maybe like a question that might
Speak
be
a bit
useful.
louder,
I was just like wondering, because like you receive a lot of call that people get into their stories.
Oh, yeah.
So I was just wondering, how do you reframe it to like, because like this is supposed to be a 30-40 minutes call, but there's people who like to talk about themselves.
Yeah, there's
And you
people
can-
like to turn, so Mel's saying how when people call up, they think that we're a psychotherapist or a counsellor and they want to tell you the story. I only want to know so much of the story as to I get their pain buttons and then get on to the next bit. But some people, they tell you their story and it's a way of hijacking a call to have a free therapy session. I don't want to be listening to people bitch and complain for an hour a day, especially if I'm not going to get paid for doing it, right? Even when I get into the actual hypnosis I do with people, and I really do want to change them, I do really come from a good place. But as soon as they go into their story, I interrupt their story multiple times and tell them, we can keep going on about your story, in which case you get to keep your problem, or we could just do the work and give you the result. So what do you want to do today? Do you want to talk about your problem, in which case we'll talk about it for an hour, you get to leave with it, or can we just stop talking about it and just do some change work today? But yeah, so on the call, what I'll say, if I know there's going to be a chat box, and I know that they're going to try and think this is a free counselling session, I'll be like, John, John, from time to time in our call, please don't think I'm being rude. Please don't think I'm being unempathetic. Please don't think I'm being rude, unempathetic, or uncaring. But sometimes you have the ability to go off into our stories and tell stories about things. So if I feel that you're kind of going off into a story or a narrative about your problem, I'm going to respectfully tell you, just so we can get on to the next bit, because otherwise we're going to be here to the middle of next week. I'm sure you've got better things to do, right? They laugh. I've inoculated myself at the beginning, so if I feel they're going to try and tell me a story and turn it into an hour or longer therapy session, because they're lonely people and got nothing else to do, I've politely said I ain't going to do that, and I'm going to tell you I'm going to do it, but please don't think I'm going to be a dick about it, because I've told you I'm not going to do it, and I really want to help you, and I'm sure you've got better things to do with your life. So I inoculate against that.
One quick way I'd like to work with that is, again, pull out a dollar bill, and I'll go, you're about to invest this dollar. Do you want to invest it in the story you know, or do you want to invest it in the story you're about to, in the future you're about to create?
Yeah.
And they just feel it really viscerally in that second. And
Yeah.
suddenly the story is much less important.
Yeah, I like it. That's really good. Where did we get to? Any questions on any of that stuff so far? Yeah.
I guess if they've got lots of stories, they're in the tricky category.
If they've got lots of stories and they call up, like, I've got to lose weight, I want to reduce my anxiety, I want to make myself undepressed myself, and I want to stop smoking. Can hypnosis help with that? I'm like, there's a possibility it can help you with all of those things. But I'll ask you, what's the most important thing that if we deal with that problem first, it would have the biggest trickle-down effect on all other areas of your life? Then I can duck the call for that problem. Whether that be the smoking, the depression, the anxiety, or the weight release. And I'll be like, oh, if this is the biggest problem for you, they're calling up about smoking, we find out depression's their biggest thing. Is it okay if we take this call, we screen this call for depression, given that you just said if we got that handled, the symptoms of depression, it would have the biggest impact on your health and all other areas of your life. So then I'll book them in for that problem, the one that's the biggest problem. I had a lady, I'll just go off on a tangent real quickly, she's on my website, lovely lady, she was schizophrenic. This is when I was taking people on medication. She smoked, she was overweight, had huge anxiety, huge depression. Just, you know, everyone's going to tell you don't work with this type of person. But I deal with a lot of, you know, I do the smoking thing, but I work with every type of client, from kids that pee the bed to soldiers that come back from Afghanistan with huge PTSD. Smoking's boring. Smoking is good money, and I can do it with my eyes closed, and you're going to make a lot of money doing it and really helping people. But it's boring for me, to be honest. Now, I like when someone comes in with a problem, like allergy. Until 2 years ago, I didn't know how to deal with an allergy. I never got a client with an allergy. I'm like, really, how am I really going to help someone with hypnosis or NLP with an allergy? I know there's the allergy cure, this, that, and the other, but really, it's a physical problem. How really? I know it's a physical problem because I see people's face. It's not a mental thing. Their face is swelling up, their body's... So someone came in, I learned how to do it. I'm like, going into it, I'm like, let's see what happens. I really don't know if I can, because I've never had an experience of fixing an allergy, because I never had it. They came in, I did it, and it worked. Then I'm like, wow. So I like when people come in with problems that I hadn't seen before, because then I have to think, oh, what am I going to do to fix it? And it makes me think on my toes. But smoking, I've been doing it so long, it's just like, it's good money. Was another question?
I think you answered it. Thanks.
Awesome. So we get to the point then where I've told them about the money, and I'll be like, and they'll be like, oh, okay. We'll come into objections in a minute if you want, but let's just say they're like, okay, because I've inoculated against them. I'm like, I'm available this day or this time. Give them two options, the binary choice options, right? And they'll say, well, yeah, I'm free Saturday at 10 o'clock or Sunday at 12 noon. I'm free Saturday at 12. Great, fantastic, I'll book you in. I'm going to send you 2 emails after our call today, John. The first email is going to be a receipt for the deposit or the full fee I take from you in a minute. Straight away. And the second email is going to be a logistical email, which is going to tell you my location, it's going to describe parking, everything you need to do to get yourself in the right mindset for when you come in for the session. And most importantly, John, there's going to be a clickable link to a questionnaire, an intake form. I'm the only one who reads it, it's totally secure. But I want you to click on the link, print out the questionnaire, fill it out thoroughly. Give me too much information. If there's anything that you feel is even remotely related to this problem, put it on that questionnaire. Even if you need to flip it over and add extra paper. Because the amount of triggers that you give me in that questionnaire is how I can tailor and customize what I do for you. So that's your last opportunity to talk about your problem. Because when you come into my office, we're not talking about your problem anymore, we're talking about your solution. So I'm saying, you know what, all that shit you feel that you need to tell me, your story, put it on the paper before you come in. And then we ain't talking about it anymore. And I've kind of very, very quickly skirted over the fact that you're going to pay me in a minute either a deposit or a full fee. So they agreed to it. And I want you to get that questionnaire back to me tomorrow within the next 24 hours signed. Because on the signed sheet, at the bottom, it's on my website, it's on the initial email when I confirm the appointment, and it's on the questionnaire, and it says basically all money is non-refundable. Once you've paid, that's it. And it gives the reasons why. So as soon as I get that back the next day, and they've signed it, I've already been paid. So if they come in, great, they come into the session. I had clients paid but not come into the session, so they paid but they got scared for whatever reason, and they never showed up to the appointment. I still got paid for my hour, while I'm reading books or whatever, stuff like that. And it just clear states there's no refund. And I never refund people, and it says it on my site because it creates that secondary gain inside someone's mind. I've given them multiple outs. We either do it or we don't do it. I'm totally cool if you say no to me. If you want to say no, it's cool. I'd love for you to say yes, but we ain't doing maybes. We're either in it, and I'm going to help you, and you're going to pay, or you're not. But once you've paid, you've signed that contract, you signed that Scientology billion-year contract, and we're doing the work together. Otherwise, you're going to have even more pain that you've wasted $600 of your own money. So you're going to come in, because I want to have the reason, and I don't accept insurance from people either. And people said, do you accept insurance? No, I don't. I actually want you to reach into your own pocket. I want you to feel that amount of money you're paying for the solution to this problem, that someone else is not fixing it. So, or maybe it'll work because my benefits cover this, but even if it doesn't work, it doesn't matter, because I get $500 hypnotherapy off my benefits every year. No, I want you to invest in it. Your money, not someone else's money. Oh, my friend's paying for this, my mum's paying for this, my dad's paying for this. If I find that out, I know that that's a little bit of dissociation going on there. So I say, oh, that's great, you've got a great mum, you've got a great girlfriend, great husband, great wife. However, I'm going to need you to set up a deal with whoever's paying this, where you're either paying them back at some fee, or you're doing some kind of work, whether that's laundry, whether that's mowing the lawn, whatever it is, that you're investing in this process in either time, energy, or money in the person who's paying for this. Because I want them to be buying it. If they can't afford it, but someone they love can afford it for them, I want them to have some kind of buy-in that they're investing in before they even come in. Does that make sense? It's all about investment dynamics.
I have a quick question.
Yeah, sure.
So they paid up front, and part of the thing...
I'm going to tell you how I get to pay up front in a minute as well, how I deal with that.
That's not on this.
Good.
Because I've had somebody do this. They didn't show up for the appointment, didn't cancel, didn't do anything. 2 weeks later, they called and said, well, I already paid for my session, and I'd like to rebook it. What do you do?
Yeah. So, it goes both ways, right? It depends if I like the person, if they're really sorry, if I really feel that they really want to change it, if it was honestly a slip of the mind. Yeah, it's up to your discretion there. But really, if you've got that rule, and it's written in 3 places on the questionnaire that they signed, on your website, and on the email that they are responding to with the logistical email, you've got it in 3 places. So if even if they went to Square, which is who I use, or PayPal, and they try and open up a dispute, I just give them PayPal or Square copy of the questionnaire, with them filled out, with their name, their signature, with my policy on the back, at the bottom, excuse me, the policy on my website, and the policy on the email that they're responding to. And I've had that happen before, and 9 times out of 10, I win. I don't ever have to give them any money back. So it's up to, I see it come to you just to say, but it's up to you whether you feel inclined to do that. It depends. If they come to me all arrogantly, you owe me this, that, no. But if they're like, you know what, I made this huge mistake, my mum was in hospital, but I really do need to quit, they give me a hard luck story, then maybe I will, if I feel good that day. If they're being a dick about it, no. It obviously wasn't that important enough for you to save your life by coming in. So hopefully the pain that you paid me for $600 for sitting on my butt for doing nothing will get behind you now to make you quit in the future.
Yes, Mr. Howard, everything is very interesting. I really want to quit. Is this guaranteed?
Absolutely not. There's no possible way that you can guarantee human performance. It'd be completely unethical. It'd be like going to see a medical surgeon, and God forbid you had cancer, and you say to the doctor, can you guarantee that you can take away my cancer forever? Of course the doctor couldn't guarantee that. Could the psychiatrist that puts you on medication for depression guarantee that you'll never be depressed again? Absolutely not. Could your lawyer guarantee, absolutely 100% guarantee that you'll win your case? Absolutely not. I will tell you that my success rate is 95%, 100%, based on the 2 years, the stuff I already said, based on all the people you can read on the website, but there's no ethical way to guarantee human performance. Yeah, that's the line that I use with people, and they're like, I've been honest. No. I used to say guaranteed, it's got guarantee all over my website, and I realised you can get in trouble by doing that, number one, and you can't guarantee. You can't. Tony Robbins can't guarantee. Richard Bandler can't guarantee your problem's going to go on. Because it's you, but it's also them. You can control what you're doing as the hypnotist. You don't know what they're doing when they're leaving your office. You don't know the influences you are. You can just do your very, very best job and have a success rate behind you.
You can guarantee that.
What's that?
You can guarantee
I can guarantee that you'll get 100% my best possible job. I can absolutely guarantee that. Can I guarantee you're going to follow all my suggestions 100% completely? No. Only you can do that. So it just becomes a question of, do you want to do this or not?
Doing surgery, patients know you can't guarantee the results. They know that. But they're looking for reassurance.
Reassurance,
so
yeah.
After I studied hypnosis, I was looking at words to give them, and I came up with a word based on my experience. I expect, and expect is a wiggle word for not having to guarantee anything, but giving them, I expect you will do this, and then the second part of what you said is what I use, is, but I will promise you my 100% effort.
Yeah.
But I like the word expect because it's,
I like it.
It's positive for me.
Yeah. See, I've learned stuff. I get a little word here or there that I'm like, you know what, that one little word change in this phone script might make a big difference. I'll come to you in just a sec. Listen, Alexander.
I was just going to say, put both of those together. If you can guarantee me you'll give me 100% of your effort, I expect you to do very well.
It's not like,
so
yeah.
You're giving them the word guarantee, but you're not.
Yeah, I can guarantee you'll get 20 years of experience, and you'll get me completely ready to use every tool that I've got in the book to help you to become and remain a non-smoker for the rest of your life. That I can guarantee. Whether you're going to be fully committed and do everything I ask you to do instantaneously without thinking about it, I can't guarantee that, but no one can, because this is life. There's only 2 guarantees. Death and taxes. They laugh at that, blah, blah, blah. I reframed it. You can put a little humour there to diffuse it from time to time as well.
My wife and I went to go see Rod Stewart last night.
Was it good?
It was excellent. At the beginning of the performance, he said, hey, I sprained my ankle and I twisted my knee. this morning, but I'm going to give you my best.
Yeah.
And he was hobbling on stage, and he gave his best, and
Yeah.
we enjoyed it
Yeah.
tremendously. I mean, that's how you can expect.
And it's and empathy. He comes on
Yeah.
stage, he's honest, he could have taken a night off. He's like, I sprained my ankle, but I'm here because first rule of show business is you don't cancel appointments. But I've got a banged up ankle, and everyone's like, oh, if he sings a couple of notes off key tonight, he's got a bad ankle. Yeah.
I think you must have answered it already, or
Sorry, go ahead. As you feel that waking alertness rising in your body now from that Starbucks caffeine, coming from your toes all the way up to your fingertips and your head, getting more alert, more awake now.
you did that.
That's right. Do you have a question? You forgot? You forgot the question from the time I was
I
there.
think maybe he answered it.
Okay.
I was going to talk about, that you can guarantee to do your best.
Yeah, that's all I can guarantee. That's all I got. All right. So then they've agreed to it. I'm like, great. So you've got one or two options now, John. Option number one is you pay a $100 deposit today to keep your slot, to book your slot, and then when you physically come in my office on yada yada yada, you would bring the remainder in cash, which would be $497, because I do not have a credit card terminal in my office, which is true. Or option number two is you put everything on a credit card today, because it saves me time and effort, because I have a credit card terminal at my home or my other office in Toronto. And if you choose to do that, I give you what we call a $50 rebate or a $50 administration discount. It's basically you save $50. The reason I do that, it saves me paperwork, it saves me time, and I want to pay that forward to you. So do you want to pay $100 deposit today, $497 when you come in, $600 altogether, or the full fee today and save yourself $50. And it's shut. I've bribed them to pay me in full. It's $50, but $50 and $50. So half the people will pay the full fee, half will pay the $100. Yeah, those are the only options. Well, can I pay you when I see you? No. Can I pay session by session? No. Well, why? I do that with my trainer because it's not an ongoing thing. I'm going to tell you it's going to take between 1 and 4 sessions, and you need to be invested in it. So if you come in one session and you haven't completely stopped, and you decide to quit, it's almost like going into surgery. And within the first hour, if that tube hasn't been removed, you're like, oh, stop the surgery, I don't want to do this anymore, let's just stop it, patch me up and I'll go back into the world. No, the process already started. So we have to see the process through to the end, because it's dangerous. It's dangerous for your mind and for your well-being. So when we start it, we're going to finish it, or we're not going to do it at all. But I'm not going to stop the surgery, mind surgery, if you're halfway into it. So you need to make a decision now, because you told me you were 10 out of 10 committed to change. You told me this problem is a 10 out of 10. You told me you were thinking about it for 4 years. You told me your dad died, blah, 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 blah. So you've got a decision to make, and I'll support whichever decision you want to make. But we're either going to do it, and we're going to do it this way, or we're not going to do it. What do you want to do? I'm always giving them an option. It's never about, oh, you have in my way. It's like, it is my way, or we don't do it. You can choose no. That's okay with me. But if you come into my office, compliance precedes suggestibility. You're going to do what I'm telling you to do because I'm the expert. And your way ain't working, and I know your way ain't working because you called me up. Any questions on that? So how do I take money from people? That sounds like I'm a scoundrel taking money from beating them up, roughing them up with my rings and my tattoos. No, what I do is I've got PayPal and I use Square. And that allows me to take their details over the telephone and then punch it into my Square or my PayPal. The reason I prefer to do it that way is if they're like, oh, you want to take my details on the phone now? Yeah, can't you just send me an email link or something to do it? I can, and if I have to, I will. But I try not to, because it gives them another barrier. They get off the phone, they're all pumped up to do something about it, then life gets in the way, they forget, or the voices inside their head try to justify, oh, you know what, it is a bit expensive, and what if it doesn't work? And I can't influence that anymore. I've got this moral obligation where I've got them on the phone to throw everything lovingly in the kitchen sink, because in my head, I'm trying to save this person's life. You know? I'm like, no, like, well, you're on the phone, yeah, but, and this is a great one, right? And they're like, yeah, but how do I know you are who you are? So I'm going to come back to that in a minute. Back about 5 years ago, I used to run a fitness boot camp. where I would charge less than $100 a month to attend my fitness bootcamp. People would not give me their credit card numbers for less than $100 a month. They just felt, oh no, we don't do this in Canada. No, I'm not doing this. Now, they pay $600, sometimes $1,600 up front on a credit card with no obligations at all. Sorry, with no objections at all. So whenever I get an objection with like, how do I know that you're not a con man? I say, you know, how do I know you're not going to steal my money? How do I know you're not going to charge me $1 million? I get that from society. I'm like, but rather than be like, oh no, I'd never do that, which is your gut reaction to try and pass that, I'm like, no, you're absolutely right, John. You're absolutely right. I am a con man. Actually, this is not even Luke on the phone. I'm Luke's twin brother. Luke doesn't really exist, actually. I'm his twin brother. This is an elaborate con. Those testimonials you see on my site are all actors. Those ads you've been seeing appearing in articles in Vitality magazine for the last 5 years are just written by a copywriter. The interviews that you've seen on TV with me on these sites, CBC, TV, and my TED Talk that you can find online, and all the other stuff, it wasn't just me, it was a hologram. You caught me, you got me in a lie. I was just about to charge your credit card $1 million. Ah, you busted me. What do they do at that point? They laugh, because they realise how ridiculous they are. Because most people go, oh no, you can trust me, because I'm like, no, you're right, I'm agreeing, I'm amplified. You're absolutely right, you should not give me your money, because I'm the biggest con man in the world. God, I've been waiting for someone to catch me. I mean, today I've already made like $50,000. You caught me. You must be a very intelligent man. They all are. It basically makes that tension disappear. They're like, because there's no difference between booking with me or booking with any other professional over telephone, or even a hotel or something. Anyone could steal your credit card at a restaurant that you're making a booking, clone it, and charge you more money. But an amazing thing that I found is, if you've got a Visa card or MasterCard, I ain't got any particular protection on my Visa or MasterCard. If I see a transaction that I don't feel that I spent, I give them a call and I say, I didn't spend that money. They're like, all right, we'll send you a letter. They send me a letter, I fill it out, and in 2 weeks, 100% of the time I've done it in my life, I get all my money back. I've never saw something on my card and disputed it and not got my money back. So that seems to be how Visa works. So even if I was a con man, they could contact Visa and most likely get their money back. So there's like really no obligation to it. So that's how I deal with when people say, well, that's an awful lot of money. I'm like, yeah. So what I'll do then, I'll grab their details, and on the telephone, I want to run it, I'll just put it through on the telephone. I'll pull up my iPad, I'll punch in their credit card, their details and stuff like that, and I'll say, great, I'll be like, in about 10 seconds, John, you're going to get a receipt, probably while you're on the telephone for me that you can keep for your records. Because it spits it out automatically. So when they've got that receipt while they're on a telephone with me, they feel even a better sense of this is professional, that I'm not stealing their money, because they've got a receipt while they've been on the phone for me. And for the next hour or two, John, you're going to get the other logistical email from me. It's going to take a bit more time because I need to manually punch you into my autoresponder to get all those details out. And John, you'll get both emails in the next 2 hours. But John, yeah, you'll get it in the next 2 hours. But if you do not get them for the next 2 hours, please check your spam folder, because they may be sitting in there. And John, I know this is not going to happen with you, but this happens sometimes. A client will call me the day of the appointment, and they'll call, and the call will go a bit like this. Luke, are you a con man? Did you steal all my money? I didn't get the logistical email. I didn't get my receipt. Have you stolen all of my money? And I simply calmly say, hey, did you check your spam folder? And they're like, hold on. They go away and they come back a minute later, rather sheepishly, like, oh, you sent me that email 10 days ago and it's been gathering dust in my spam folder. I'm really sorry for having an attitude. Will you still see me and help me? Of course I will. See you at 12. So I inoculate against that as well, because sometimes that can happen, right? The email can get shot in there, and they're confident that they're going to get the email. So that's kind of like the questionnaire. Any questions about any of that questionnaire? About how to handle that call? They're going to most of the time try and take it away from you, and they're going to try and go off on a tangent a lot of the times. But like a doctor or a surgeon, if the client comes in, the patient's like, well, no, can't be there. Make the insertion there. As a professional, as a surgeon, as a doctor, give me this drug. The doctor's like, no, I'm the expert at this. I'll tell you what drugs you need. I'll tell you what surgery. I know what to do. You're not going to tell me how to do my job, because if you knew how to do my job, you wouldn't have the problem you've got. I'm the expert, I'm the doctor, I'm the surgeon, I'm the hypnotist, I'm the expert. I'm going to tell you what you need. So you're not going to control the call, I'm going to control the call. Because I really want to help you. And if you control the call, it's probably going to go off of a bridge somewhere. So yeah, you've got to keep that call on track and keep that frame. When you find that you're being asked too many questions, it's the client's way of trying to take that call away from you. And at the end of the call, if they ask me questions, I say, you know what, John, this is not my first rodeo. I make a lot of these calls. I'm probably going to answer all of your questions. If for some strange reason I don't answer the question that's on your mind right now, please ask me at the end of the call, and I'll be delighted to answer for you. Because I'm most likely going to answer their question, because it's always going to be the same: price, location, success rate, how does it work? It's the same question to every people. It's built into the script. So I'll give them a period at the end if they've got some weird question that I've never been asked before. They absolutely get to ask me it, but at the end, after I've done my whole spiel with them and sorted the wound and got them up to that level.
Are we going to get that script?
You are? Yeah. So this is the third or fourth time, but you are going to get the script, don't worry. You are not going to get the script though for a couple of weeks until I get back to Toronto, and I'm going to type you out a nice version, because this is the version I use now, because I've always updated it. This is ugly as hell, and it's probably way too many questions than you need on here right now, because I'm always taking out the question, putting in a different question, changing the order to get more power. You're going to get a copy of this. I'll give you a copy of the ads that I use. Who has my Vitality? You got it there. And who's got the sign-in sheet there as well? If you sign on the sign-in sheet, you're going to get the videos to this. It ain't going to be for a couple of weeks. You're going to get the phone script for this. You're going to get the ad that I use. With the ad, if you want to use this ad, it's fine. But put your own picture in there, put one of your own clients in there, change the name of the company, and maybe put a real testimony you've got from a client, but use the structure, if that makes sense. You'll get that as well. Yeah, everything, all this stuff we're going through today, you will get a copy of it all. But it may take a couple of weeks. Please bear with me, and you will get, I promise you.
And check our spam.
Yes, check your spam box, totally.
In the circumstance that you give your deposit or pay in full,
Yeah.
how do you deal with no-shows or requests for rebookings?
Yeah, so I've got a 48-hour cancellation policy, and it's written on all those 3 places. The 3 places are on the questionnaire, so they have to sign the questionnaire, and underneath where they've signed, it talks about all of that stuff, right? We'll come back to you in just a minute. And on the email of the logistics, at the bottom, it states that as well. And if they're completely blind or moronic, if they go to the terms and conditions on my website, on the terms and conditions page on my website, it says it there as well. So it's 3 places. If they didn't see it in one place, well, you've signed the contract, it's there, and I know you got the email because you wouldn't know where my office was, because my office is only said on my email, so you must have read the email, it's on the bottom of the email. So I have a 48-hour cancellation policy. If they no-show or give me less than 48 hours, they've been charged. That's either the full fee or the deposit fee. If they've really got a hard luck story and I'm feeling in a good mood that day, then I might let them rebook. If I just think they're messing around or just being stupid or silly or just ungrateful, then no, it's like, we agreed, we're adults, we're not kids anymore. We made an agreement, and as adults, we're supposed to stick with the agreement. Successful people make decisions fast, and it takes a long while to change them. Unsuccessful people, it takes forever to change their mind, but when they do, they keep changing it all the time. We come back to that question, but this later.
I just wondered, are you going to give us a copy of the form that you sent out to the client?
Yeah, I'll give you a copy of that as well, yeah. So you'll get the phone script, you'll get the little ads. I'll send you, what I'll do is I'll send you exactly what they get. I'll send you exactly what they get with the logistics, but you just put your own office and details in there, change the videos to your videos if you make, which we'll get into a little bit later on, and the link to the questionnaire, so you can model it. You put your own logo on it, but you can see the questions that I ask in the questionnaire, and just model it for yourself. If you're in different countries where it's different legal jurisdictions with words that you can use, you need to research that, because I'm not a lawyer, but you'll see what I use in North America. Good? So you'll get that. And if you don't get that, remind me and I will get it to you. Okay? Cool. Yes?
So I want to make sure I heard it right. You said to fill out the form and bring it in when you come.
No, I get them to.
It does it on the
website? So they get the email, they click on the email, it takes them to a secure page on my website where they print off the email that's ready to print off the questionnaire. Then they fill it out, they scan it back to me with the signature. If they don't have a scanner, they can just take a picture with their cell phone and attach it as an attachment. They can do it that way. Because I'm not very IT orientated. There's ways to have a questionnaire on your site that you just get automatically, where they don't have to print it out. I haven't got around to that yet. So if you've got a way that they can fill it out or put their thumbprint, some proof that they've done it, and send it without printing it out, if you can do that, that's great, that's awesome. It's just I'm still a bit old school with that.
You said 48 hours, yeah?
Yeah.
Is that before the appointment date, or is it after they've booked?
So the 48 hours cancellation is, first of all, once they've paid, they get their money back. That's number one. So if they decide tomorrow morning that they want their money back, well, no, because you signed the agreement, it's already on my website. You said you really want to do this. No, you paid the money. So I'll still see and help you, absolutely, but you're not getting your money back because you paid your money. If it's our appointment on Saturday, and on Thursday, like, actually my mum's coming into town for this weekend, or I have to go to a wedding, I completely forgot, can we reschedule for another time? Yeah, sure. But I might not be able to see you for a couple of weeks or whatever, which may be true, but it's my timetable. Well, the next time I'm free is this time, but if you want me to move you over, I'll do that for you.
Okay.
Yeah, but if there's just 24 hours before, it used to be 24 hours, that messes up my whole schedule. And if it's just an hour before, and some people have called me and I've decided not to do this, I want a refund. No. An hour before, I could have got someone else in, but I could have gently helped. So absolutely, you're not going to get your money back. I've invested time and energy in putting a program together to help you, to be committed, to help you overcome the problem. And if I put that level of commitment into you, and you're not putting that level of commitment, then no, there's penalties for being an adult. We have to make adult decisions and wear our adult trousers and make decisions. You pay for it. So if I come in, I'd still love to help you, I truly would. But if you don't, that's absolutely up to you, but you pay for it. So whether you eat the meal or not, you're still paying for the meal. I hope you eat it. It's really good. Any more questions? Cool. So, all right, 15 minutes. So we've covered that. They've come in, they've got the confirmation. So I'll send them out a confirmation email, which I'll send you a copy of the confirmation email that I sent out to these folks. Obviously confirming everything. I think that covers everything to them actually coming in the door at that point. We've covered the marketing, we've covered it. The sales script and some Yelp stuff, and we've covered some Google businesses, yes.
So for the ones that make the deposit online,
Yeah.
and then they bring you the balance, you take it right before you start the sale.
Oh yeah. So as soon as they come in through that door, as soon as they come in through that door, it's be like, oh John, great to see you. Are you ready to become smoking free? It's not, how's your day going? How's the weather? Oh, great to see you. Are you ready to become smoking free? Smoking and craving is free. Bang, they'll come in and they'll sit down and be like, oh John, just before we officially start the session, we never officially start the session by the way, let's take care of business first. So what's the balance that you owed? I'm getting the money before I go any further. Because generally I forget. If I don't get it in, I forget. I also want them to know that they're fully invested in it and they've felt that they've completely paid for it. It makes me feel good, it makes them feel good. That deal's been done, we're shaking hands, now let's get on to the work. So yeah, the very beginning of the session, I'm taking the money off of them immediately. We are not taking a step forward until we paid.
I do the same thing.
Yeah, I know a lot of people don't. They'll wait to the end of the session and stuff. And for me, I honestly might forget. So I was like, this is my business, so let me take that first. And then once that's off my brain, then I can be 100% in the room with them. I'm not worried, can I ask for the money? Or, no, this is the deal. This is the thing, great thing. Now let's get into it. No? Yes?
Do you send a reminder, text or something of your goal?
Yeah, sometimes no, sometimes yes. There's systems you can do, like email systems that will do it automatically. I'm a bit cheeky. I'm a bit cheeky when I do this. If they've paid a deposit of $100 and they're going to come in and they're going to pay me the $500, and it was a couple of weeks ago they did it, I'm definitely going to send them a reminder. If it's they've already completely paid for it and I'm feeling a bit lazy, I don't always send a reminder. But if they owe me money, yeah, they're going to get a reminder. Should probably do it the other way, but I'm just honest and transparent with you. So yeah, go ahead.
Do you have a lead capture page on
yeah, so my website, if you don't know, you
sure.
can check it at lunch. It's lucanosis.com. And there's lead capture on every page. On the home page, it's sign up this form for your free hypnosis ebook or something. On the smoking page, sign up for this for your stop smoking ebook. On the anxiety page, sign up for your anxiety release book. For the weight loss page, your weight loss release book. You know, so every page has a lead capture. Every page has a video with me, somewhat recently, looking how I do now, but fatter in those videos. So there's less sexy there. And well, I'm talking about their problem for about 3 minutes. Hey, it's Luke Michael Howard of Hypnosis, and you're probably on this page because you want to quit smoking, you want to overcome your craving. I'm about 3 minutes doing my little spiel about their problem. Anything more than about 3 minutes, people tend to turn off their brain a little bit. So about 3 to 5 minutes maximum. Then they're knowing me, they're liking me, they're trusting me, they're seeing, oh, this is a real guy, it's the same face in all these videos, I've seen his picture, I think he might be real. Okay, oh, he sounds like, he's got a nice accent, even though he talks a bit fast sometimes. Oh yeah, I can see myself working with this guy. It just starts to build up that familiarity. Let's have a little video on each page with the lead capture. Anyone wants to know about lead capture? Lead capture is just stuff that you put on your page to ethically bribe your potential client to give you their email. So even if they don't buy for you that moment, I've had clients who signed up for my Hypnosis Stop Smoking ebook, and they got it, and they got reminders, because sometimes I spit the ebook out over 13 different emails. So you get a chapter this month, or a chapter this week, a second chapter. So I'm always going into their front of mind awareness. And it might not be for 3 or 4 years. I think the record was 5 years. And a client who wasn't a client, she just signed into my lead capture on my website for my ebook 5 years before. She goes, yeah, I said, how did you hear about it? She said, well, about 5 years ago, I saw your ad, I came to your website, I've been getting your emails, and yeah, it's 5 years now, I think now's time. It's like the slow sell. She just, over 5 years, she's just seeing my face, she's seeing me in multiple directions in the videos and stuff that I said, actually, now's the time. But if I wasn't doing something weekly or monthly where she's getting an email from me or some kind of social media, maybe she would have forgot, but she's getting a little bit of information every week about a video session that I take where I help someone walk around the Edge Walk at the CN Tower, or when I helped someone overcome a needle phobia. But she's, oh, this guy can help me, this guy's a decent guy, and even though he looks a bit strange, he's doing this great work with people, and it's just building up the trust, so they're always getting that familiarity with me and seeing someone will work in person. I make videos and everything. I make videos and talks I do, the street hypnosis I do, sometimes sessions when clients are okay with it. I'll record the session with clients because it's all more evidence. It's more evidence that I'm legit, that these clients are legit. Here's actually what a first session can look like. So they get to see all this and be like, oh yeah, I saw one of your 557 videos. It was really cool how you did the X, Y, and Z. Any more questions? Alright, so we'll get started a little bit about when they come in for the first session. So they come in, and whatever they come in, hey Johnny, you ready to become smoking and craving free? They say yes. They come into the office. If they owe you money, I'd be like, great, before we get into the actual change work, let's just get rid of business, take the money off of them, and then the very first thing I'll do from then is pre-talks. Who has a pre-talk here? Who has a pre-talk that is 5 minutes or over? 5 minutes, good. Anyone 10 minutes or over? Yeah. 15 minutes or over? 20 minutes or over? Anyone got 30 minutes or over? No? No, good. I used to have a pre-talk that was borderline 40 minutes. And what a pre-talk is, in case someone doesn't know here, a pre-talk is just kind of explaining what hypnosis is to the layman or laywoman, expelling the myths of hypnosis and alleviate any concerns that people may have about hypnosis and stuff like that. I used to have a great one that I was always retweaking. It was about 40 minutes long. And after I did the pre-talk, my clients would look a bit like this, a bit like I look today. And I wasn't sure it's because I induced hypnosis or they just got frigging bored of me talking at them for 40 minutes. So then I got my pre-talk and I did a bit of stage hypnosis. I had to get about 40 minutes into about 10. Then when I started doing street hypnosis, I had to get the pre-talk from 40 minutes into 1 minute. And it's hard to do because on the street, they don't know you. They've not paid to come and see you for a show or for a therapy session. And no one wakes up in the morning other than us here this past weekend saying, oh my God, I hope a hypnotist hypnotizes me on the way from A to B this morning. You know, we don't think about it. So when you do street hypnosis with someone, You have to get them knowing you, liking you, trusting you, feeling comfortable within a minute. So if you can do it on the street with a complete stranger, you can take that to make your session super fast. So you don't have to spend time with all this, talking, this, that, or the other, this stuff, the devil knows what. You can just get into the work. So if anyone here, does anyone here ever do street hypnosis? Good. Yeah, good. I recommend it for you guys. Sometimes there's a bit of a line like, oh, we're the therapeutic hypnosis would never do street hypnosis. And street hypnosis is like, oh, we don't do therapy, and the stage hypnotists are like, it's all hypnosis. We can all learn from one another. And for me, I just want to learn faster, better ways, quicker ways of less traumatizing my parents. They traumatize me. But less ways to traumatize our clients in quicker, more ethical ways. So here's my pre-talk. One sentence, it's this. I say to them, I give them that story. It used to take me 40 minutes to tell you what hypnosis was, what it wasn't. Now I'm going to tell you one sentence. What is hypnosis? Automatic response in spite of conscious awareness. And they're like, huh? Automatic response in spite of conscious awareness. Automatic response in spite of conscious awareness. And I'm like, I bet you wonder what that means, don't you? They're like, yeah, what does that mean? I'm like, watch me, then do it. Then again, do this with your arms. So watch me first. I'll say, rub your hands together nice and fast, like you're trying to start a fire. Interlock your fingers like you're holding a piece of hot coal. Bend your elbows like you're making a desperate prayer. You might want to make one while you're there. Open up your index fingers about an inch apart. Focus on the gap in between, nowhere else. I want you to imagine, pretend, or even make believe there's a magnet on one finger, a magnet on the other finger, and you're just going to allow your fingers to come together all by themselves. Don't do it consciously, but when your fingers move, and they will move, don't freak out, don't stop it, don't resist it. Want it to happen, will it to happen, expect it to happen. What happens is their fingers touch, 99% of the time. Automatic response in spite of conscious awareness. You were not hypnotized then, were you? Like, no, because you were aware that I was standing in front of you, that your eyes were open, that you were looking at a gap. Yet something was happening that you did not feel you were in control of. Automatic response, my fingers are moving in spite of conscious awareness. Yeah, but I'm not hypnotized, I'm not sleepy, I'm seeing it happen and I'm not controlling it. Hypnosis, hypnosis, hypnosis. I'm planting a seed already that hypnosis may be something different to what they imagine it is. That hypnosis is something happening automatically, yet they're aware it's happening at the same time. Okay, so they start to get the sentence. I like to prove the sentence that I'm telling them by giving them an experiential learning. And I'll say, John, I have this theory, if I just speak at you for the next hour, you might retain 5% of what I'm saying. But if I give you an experiential learning and get you to feel something, we'll make that change for the rest of your life. So today, I'm going to ask that you feel and don't think. Because if you could think yourself out of this problem, you wouldn't be here today, would you? You're like, no. So I'm going to get you to feel something today. And I say, John, if you want to analyse this stuff, analyse this shit tomorrow. While you're in here today, I just want you to feel. Because what we're going to do ain't going to make any logical sense. But illogical problems require illogical solutions. So by all means, analyse this stuff, but do it tomorrow morning. When you're in this office, I want you to be feeling something. So I'm switching off. I'm switching off the logical part of the brain. I'm trying to get them, I am getting them to be more emotional, more involved in this habit, feeling of it. We're going to go for a break pretty soon, guys. So I can see you getting a bit sleepy. Let me just get through for a couple more minutes. And the more we get through here, the more stuff we can do later on. Earlier we can finish, whatever you want. So then I'll go into, next thing I want you to do, John, is I want you to have your arms out like so. Watch me first. I need you to not wrap your arms, but put your hands together like so. You're trying to start a fire. Open up your hands about 6 inches apart. Focus on the gap in between about 6 inches. Sometimes I open it up like that, and I'll make a joke. That's a man 6 inches. That's not a real 6 inches. Then I'll bring their hands together like that, right? Because if I'm going to talk them together for here, to there, I'm going to be here the whole hour. I want a 6 inches, which is there. So then I'm like, yeah, the whole magnetic thing, magnetic hands, you've got a magnet there, you've got a magnet there, your hands come close together. Don't do it consciously. Don't try and make me happy and do it consciously. But when your hands move, and they will move, embedded suggestion, don't freak out, don't stop it from happening. Want it to happen, will it to happen, expect it to happen. I get another level of compliancy now. I say, close your eyes when you do it this time. I'll talk them through it as your hands come together like two powerful magnets, closer and closer with every breath that you take and every move that you make, your hands come close together. I'll take as much time as I need to talk them together. But then they're usually surprised. They look at their hands like, wow, how did that happen? I thought my hands were here, or I thought my hands were here, but they touched. I'm like, automatic response, despite conscious awareness. You weren't hypnotized, were you? Well, no, because I could hear you. I knew that I was in the Orleans, in Las Vegas. Yeah, but yet something happened in spite of that, right? Something's happening seemingly out of your control. They're like, yeah, hypnosis, hypnosis, hypnosis. I'm doing the voodoo at this point. I'm doing the voodoo that some weird shit's happening here. I don't know what's happening. I don't know why it's happening. I don't know how this can help me quit smoking, but something weird is happening. That's what I want. Automatic response despite conscious awareness. I'm like, did you do that consciously, John? And usually they'll say no. I'm like, yeah, it's still happening even though you're aware of it. So in our hypnosis today, John, you'll most likely be aware of everything that's going on around you. So even when you're completely blissed out in hypnosis, should in the unlikely event that a fire alarm would go off, no matter how deep into hypnosis you were, even in a coma state or an Esdale state, you'd be able to open up your eyes, safely get up and exit through that door. Because see, your unconscious mind wants to look after you and keep you safe at all times. So if you ever needed to emerge, you'd do it automatically. That's why you're going to be aware of everything. So you might be aware of voices, cars going by, the air conditioning, yet none of this will trouble you, disturb you, or distract you in any way, shape, or form. What I'm saying to them is, yeah, when you're hypnotized, you're probably going to hear a fan. You might hear people talking outside. You might hear people walking above us. This is normal, but it will not bother you at all. I'm loading what hypnosis is. I'm putting my reality of hypnosis into what they think hypnosis is, and what they think hypnosis is probably what they saw from a movie called Get Out, or some kind of weird movie or show they saw in the 50s. Yeah. I'm telling them what hypnosis is, because I've been doing this 20 years. I know what it is, I know how it feels. So like, oh great, 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 great. And then I'll get to stand up. And I did this one with you yesterday, so you know what, I'm going to borrow it. Can I borrow you? Do you have any injuries in your shoulders at all? Good, can I borrow you for a second? Lovely. Give him a round of applause. Lovely. And I'm just going to, what's your name again? Marshall. Marshall. I'm going to talk to Marshall like he's my client, and then occasionally I'm going to break the third wall. I'm going to speak to you guys as well. But it's how I do it in the session. Marshall, have you ever heard of, I'll get you to face me.
You have them stand up?
What's that?
You have them stand up?
Yeah, I'm getting them standing up, sitting down, lying down, all through the session. They're up, they're down. It's dynamic hypnosis. They ain't just doing this. Close your eyes. Take a big deep. Hell with that shit. I'm getting people moving on every level. Have you ever heard of muscle testing before, Marshall? Yes. Great. Most people will say no, in which case I say most of my clients haven't. If they say yeah, oh that's great, most of my clients haven't, that makes you a really intelligent man. So, great, Marshall, you look like quite a strong guy. Are you right-handed or left-handed? Lovely. Can I get you in a moment, not just yet, Marshall, but in a moment I'm going to get you to hold out your right arm like so, make a fist, and I'm going to try to push down with my two fingers. I just want you to resist me pushing down. Don't let me push down. Make sense? And I always ask if they've got an injury. If they've really got an injury, I might leave this bit out. But I usually find, even if they've got a little bit of an injury, I say, if I do this and it hurts, you tell me immediately we stop. I haven't had a problem with it. Great, Marshall, get you to hold out your arm nice and strong. Good. Make a fist, don't let me push down. Two fingers, strong, strong, strong. Great, watch this. And all your energy just disappears. That just doesn't happen all the time. Kind of weird, right? Does that happen all the time? You just lose your energy like that? All your strength comes back right now. Maybe I just distracted you, right? So do it again. Have your arm out. Don't let me push down. Two fingers. Strong, strong, strong. Great. Great. Now I'm going to touch on your forehead. All your strength's going to go. And all your strength's going to go. I'll tell you do. I'm telling him that it's going to happen. He already knows it's going to happen, and all of his strength disappears. Kind of weird, huh? Kind of interesting. Does that happen a lot to you? No. I'm giving him some juju at this point. I'm giving him some wah-wah. I'm giving him, what the hell? I don't know how it's going to make me quit smoking, but something weird just happened. This guy got some kind of Jedi power. Believe whatever you want to believe, I don't care. But something weird is going on. I want him in that place of, this is a bit different. This is very different from that patch. So that counsel I talked about. Have you ever heard of lie detectors before, Marshall? Yes. Great. I don't have one underneath that table, but I don't need one. Because see, you can lie to me, you can even lie to yourself, we do it every day, but you can never lie to your body. Your body will never lie to me. I'll prove this. I'm a big believer in proving things, not just starting out of my mouth. Great, so Marshall, what I'm going to ask you to do in a moment, I was going to ask that you hold out your arm again in a moment, not just yet, so I don't want to get tired. And again, I want you to say the truth. My name is Marshall. And then I'm going to try and push down, right? So hold out your arm and tell the truth. Say, that's your name, right? Say, my name is Marshall.
My name is Mark.
Strong, strong, strong. Body says yes, this is the truth. Now I want you to lie to me and say, my name is Luke.
My name is
Strong, strong, strong. Don't let me push down. Body says no. Your body cannot lie. You can lie consciously the whole day, but your body will never lie. And that's your unconscious mind controlling your body at all times. But again, I might have just got lucky right then to distract you. Let's do it a second time. Another universal truth. We're in Las Vegas right now, right? So say I'm in Las Vegas right now. Las Vegas. The truth. Strong, strong, strong. Body says it's telling the truth. Now say I'm in London, England right now. Strong, strong, strong. Body says no. He's lying. Kind of cool, huh? So I don't need to lie to you. Your body's going to tell me. We're having a bit of fun with this now, Marshall, but later on we're going to come back to this mechanism, because this mechanism that we're using now is going to tell us when you've got rid of your problem for smoking once and for all, and those cravings have left you once and for all in no uncertain terms. Is that okay with you? It's okay. Good. Relax. Give a round of applause, guys. So I've preloaded in his mind already now that the muscle test that we're using for fun now, we've had a fun, he's going to want to do it in a party now, or with his wife, I don't know, see if she's been well behaved. But it's a fun little thing, and it works pretty much 100% of the time with people. But I've loaded it in his mind that, oh, okay, we're having fun, it works. I'm strong, then I'm weak, then I'm strong, then I'm weak, then I'm telling the truth, then I lie. Yes, no. When I come back to it later, after I've done some kind of modality to deal with the problem, we get to test if the problem's gone. The muscle testing. Rather than, has the problem gone? Well, I don't know if the problem's gone because I don't want a cigarette right now. Let's ask your body. So it's a great convincer, it's a great mechanism to almost just directly talk with the unconscious mind and find out, what's doing in there. Question. We could break now if you're tired, if you're hungry, or we could go for another 30 minutes.
No.
Break now? Beautiful.
How time do we come back?
So it's 12 now. There should be. Who wants 1 hour? Who wants a 1 hour break? Hands up. Who wants an hour 15 minutes? One. Who wants an hour and a half? All right. We'll say an hour, and we'll be back in here by 1:05.
Now we'll leave things here.